This, my friends, is a roller coaster review you have all been waiting for. This is the Voyage at Hollywood in Santa Claus, Indiana, and it is consistently ranked of one of the best wooden roller coasters in the world, let alone in the United States. And I don't blame anyone who says that, because it is an awesome wooden roller coaster. And in this video, since I've ridden it now, finally, right, I will be reviewing it and comparing it to other wooden roller coasters that I've ridden, and I will also be ranking it on my scale. So, without further ado, let's begin with the Voyage review. First up is the height for the Voyage, and the Voyage is a fairly tall wooden roller coaster. It is ranked of one of the tallest wooden roller coasters out there in the world as well, and it is a very tall roller coaster. It is about 170 feet tall, estimately. I'd say it's like, from what I hear, it's about 165, 166, even 167 feet tall. And that makes a lot of sense. So it's estimated about 170 feet tall. So it is a giant for a wooden roller coaster, although compared to steel roller coasters and wooden roller coasters alike, it isn't like of the tallest roller coasters out there. But it is still, for a wooden roller coaster, one of the tallest, and it is a giant for a wooden roller coaster. So, for the Voyage's height, I will be giving it a 7. And notice how the color changes to green, and let me just explain this real quick. With my new scaling for the reviews in 2017 coaster season and so on and so forth, I will be using it this way. So, 1 and 2 out of 10 would be a red. 3 and 4 out of 10 would be yellow. 5 and 6 would be orange. 7 and 8 would be green. And 9 and 10 would be blue, because that's my favorite color, so why not make it the best scale, the best color to me? So, does it make sense? Let me know in the comments below, and if I should keep using it, I will, because I think it makes a lot more sense and brings on a lot more organization to this video, and a bunch of other roller coaster reviews. But anyway, the height for Voyage gets a 7. Next up is the speed, and the Voyage is one of the fastest wooden roller coasters in the world, as well as it is one of the tallest wooden roller coasters in the world, as well as it is one of the best wooden roller coasters in the world. It is about this is the height. It is 67 miles per hour, and it is a very fast roller coaster for a wooden roller coaster. It goes all through the track at a flying speed, and it is a very fast roller coaster. You definitely feel the speed as well when you're on the ride. And for that, I'm giving it a 7 once again. But since it goes 67 miles per hour, I gave it the edge as if it would go 70 miles per hour. And I wasn't going to give it a 6 because it's more closer so to 70 instead of 60. But if it was 60 miles per hour, I'd be giving it a 6. So then it would be in the orange color. But since it's the most closest and most estimates is 70, I just gave it the 7. Just, why not for estimates? Next up is the drop, and the Voyage has a traditional wooden roller coaster drop, except a lot bigger and a lot faster. And this drop is definitely somewhat different from other traditional wooden roller coasters, although it isn't special. It isn't like an El Toro or a Lightning Rod drop. However, it still has that awesome wooden roller coaster traditional drop. And because it's a lot bigger, it makes up for a lot more of a fun of a drop and intense of a drop. And for the drop you definitely feel for sure, going down that 160-foot hill. And for the drop, I felt the drop. Now, this isn't how tall the drop is, by the way. It's just how good the drop is. And for the drop, I felt it would as well get a 7, because it isn't like of the best drops out there for a wooden roller coaster. However, it still is a very good wooden roller coaster drop. And for all roller coasters in general, it's kind of just a general drop. But for the drop, I will be giving it a 7, which is fine. And for the duration, now the Voyage definitely solids in this category, because the duration, it is one of the longest wooden roller coasters in the world, and it is a very long roller coaster in general. And this ride is about 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and that is one of the longest wooden roller coasters, and one of the longest roller coasters in general out there. So for this, I will be giving it a 9. Notice how it's in blue now, because this really dominates the category, because it is one of the longest roller coasters out there, and because of what it packs in that long duration, it makes it all the more better and much more of a very awesome roller coaster. Next up is the Smoothness. Now, this roller coaster isn't meant to be like El Toro or Lightning Rod smooth. It is meant to be a rickety, traditional wooden roller coaster feel, and that it definitely solidates in, because you definitely feel a traditional wooden roller coaster as well as a modern wooden roller coaster on it, because it does have some rough edges, and it does also have some rickety, shaky edges. However, it is still awesome. But for the Smoothness and all generalizing, I will be giving it a 6. And notice how now it's in the orange, because this is probably like one of the weaker categories, because it isn't a butter smooth roller coaster. However, it is still not a bad smooth. It isn't rough. It definitely doesn't rack you around like you're on a 1970s roller coaster. However, it is still not butter smooth. But that's all fine because of what it packs in it. It's still awesome. Next up is the intensity. Now, this is another solid category for the Voyage because this ride is a very intense wooden roller coaster. It's one of the more intense wooden roller coasters out there, right up there with like El Toro and Lightning Rod. However, it isn't the most intense. However, it still does solid in being an intense roller coaster, and you definitely feel the intensity too. It isn't like you're just slowly going over the hills and back down. You fly over the hills and fly through the overbanks and turns. Like, it isn't just you're slowly going through like a traditional wooden roller coaster. You're flying through it. That's the modern feel of the Voyage. Because it tries to make it seem like a traditional wooden roller coaster, but in all technological speaking, it is a modern roller coaster. Because you have to remember, this ride is from 2006, and for a wooden roller coaster that isn't that old. As a matter of fact, fun fact, it is the same age as El Toro. And, and El Toro is also a modern feel, so the Voyage, another modern feel. But the intensity, I will be giving it an 8, because it isn't the most intense ride out there. However, it is still very intense. And notice how it's in green, because it's fine. It's a very good intensity. However, it isn't like fly all over the place, face peeling intensity. However, it is still a good intensity. So that's all fine and dandy. Next up is the Airtime category, and this is the strongest point, obviously, of the Voyage. The Voyage is literally known for its airtime and has the most airtime of any roller coaster in the world, and you already know without any further explanations what I'm going to give, because when I went on this ride, I was flying out of my seat. I mean, flying out of my seat. And for this, obviously, I'll be giving it a 10 out of 10. This is the strongest point of the Voyage, and that's very good because airtime is a major factor for a great roller coaster. And the Voyage has no exceptions with this, and the airtime is what makes the Voyage one of the best roller coasters out there. Now, for the overall score. What did I think of the Voyage in general? Well, what did I think of it? Is it one of the best wooden roller coasters I've ever ridden? Is it one of the worst roller coasters I've ever ridden? Well, here's your answer. Yes, it is one of the best roller coasters I've ever ridden, and is by far one of the best wooden roller coasters I've ever ridden. However, it isn't a perfect 10 out of 10. However, I gave it the edge and gave it a 9.5 out of 10. It is still one of the best wooden roller coasters I've ever ridden, and one of the best roller coasters in general that I've ever ridden. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. Basically, like I said, it isn't like a perfect 10 out of 10, because not all rides are perfect. However, this ride still gets a 9.5 out of 10, because it definitely makes my top 10, possibly even top 5, but you'll just have to find out in around August, September, when I rank my new top 10 roller coaster I've ever ridden. I'm thinking about doing a top 15 again, but I'll probably do a top 15, yeah. But it definitely ranks in that list, so just letting you know right now, it is in there already, 100%. But anyways, thank you for watching my review on the Voyage. What do you think of the Voyage? Have you ridden it yet? And if not, then I suggest it very, very much. It is an awesome wooden roller coaster and an awesome roller coaster in general. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and please subscribe if you like this review, and please stay tuned for more roller coaster reviews on Coaster Media's channel.